Hi, so I'm not got my microphone in because I'm charging up the phone, so just have to see if you can hear me or not. This is just basically, I like to do this, well, I think I've only done it once before and I was a bit drunk when I did it last time. I've not done that for a while, have a drink. But what it is, I'm waffling, oh god. What it is, I just thought I'd give a shout out to the YouTube channel, comics YouTube channels that I watch and that I enjoy for different reasons and why I think you should be watching them. And it's in no particular order of preference. I've just scribbled it down as they came into my head. So first up, we've got the Comics Pals. I I know for a fact because it showed on the stats. This is my most watched YouTube channel. It's basically these three guys who love comics and they do really good in-depth um, analysis of the comics industry, and they also do every Thursday they do a really good review of about, I think it's about 5 or 6 titles. They choose five, and then everybody else, general public, chooses the sixth title. And it's a really fun way of just like reviewing choice selection of titles. But then on a Saturday, they have like a two. It can go anything from 2 to 3 hour show where they might have a guest on, or they'll have a topic what they'll break down and they'll discuss, and then they'll have just have really good banter. Just really, it's fun, and there's no agenda. There's nothing comics gatekeeperish about it. It's just wholesome, totally inclusive. A comics fan base designed by three people who genuinely love comics, and you can feel that, and you feel like you're part of their group. So yeah, Comics Pals, highly recommend. Like I said, they do shows on a Thursday, Saturday, and they also do, on the odd occasion, do some really good interviews with creators as well. And then I've got to mention my old mucker from who I knew, I think, primarily through Threads first, which I recommend you going on if you want to meet up with a nice group of comic geeks. So it's Geeky Old Hog. I don't always agree with what he's saying, but one thing, he's got a passion for comics. He's got an amazing collection. I wish I could have comic shops like he has where he lives. I just don't. I've got really nice comic shops, but they don't deal with like back issues or anything like that. Um, that's why I buy so many graphic novels instead, to get my back issue fix that way. But yeah, his reviews are good. Like I said, a lot of time I'll be shouting at I've shouted at the screen when I've seen reviews, thinking, "What are you on about?" I'm as passionate for DC as he is for Marvel. Put it that way. But we agreed to disagree on quite a few things. But we've got common ground on things like image and all that, and we will admit when something's shit, even if it's something we love. So yeah, Geeky Old Hog's always worth a look at. And like I said, I enjoy his back issue episodes more than his review ones, because it gets me upset at the same time because it gets so much nice stuff. And I'm like, I want that. So yeah, if you want to see some really fun analysis of comics, but also his passion for back issues as well, you can't go wrong. And then one of the nicest guys on Threads is DC Patrol, or as he goes by now, I think he's trying to shake that mantle on YouTube, Comics Patrol. He's Canadian, but we forgive him for that. But yeah, his channel's good. It started off as just these two hands with a camera shooting down, but now he's revealed his face, and it's not that scary. But he does fun reviews. He does like quick shorts, and also does like a roundup of all the comics that he bought at the weekend. And now he's trying a few new fun things as well. Yeah, do support him, but not before he's supporting me. And I am losing subscribers at left, right, and centre. I don't know why. I don't care. It's just what it is. But one I think I've been watching the longest out of any comics channel when I've discovered comics YouTube was Pop Culture Philosophers. Really, it's either Tuesday night or Wednesday morning review of the new channel releases. It's always really good to watch. I don't like it when it's his drunk channel. His drunk one. He's not a good drunk. Put it that way. And I'm like, oh no, just do it sober. But never mind. I mean, I can't speak because I've done 6 months, but I go giggly tipsy. Put it that way. But he does. Yeah, he does really good reviews. He does what I really do enjoy is his monthly one where it's him and a few other comic YouTubers that meet together like a round table and they highlight the best comics of the month. That is always well worth a watch. And he's got a deep love for comics. I think he's a comic shop manager as well. So pop culture philosophers, well worth subscribing to. And I think one of the most fun and feel good channels is this one now. It's another Canadian and it's Casually Comics. She does such a fantastic breakdown of obscure runs of stories, of the history of characters, of really random facts, but she also does like a really nice like drop in one occasion when there's like a new release of like when there's a new preview, she'll break it down and show you all the releases and that lot. It's just a really feel good channel, and she's got a great selection of wigs as well. She's just a really cool character. Yeah, Casually Comics. I'm sure you've heard of her, but if you've not been subscribing, it's well worth doing so. And then we have the Omnibros, that's like a conglomerate of a few different people. They do a manga show and they also do a general one on a Monday and Wednesday. So that not always about comics. It can end up being about cereal or ice cream, but it's always good for a laugh. And spinning off from that as well, there's Omnidog's Vault. Omnidog is like, he's just such a lovable character. I don't think I don't know of anybody who's watched it who doesn't like his show. He's got a real passion for comics. He's been reading comics since before even I was born. Yeah, a really cool guy. Got a fantastic selection of books. Got a great figure collection as well. And he just loves. He's one of those people who really loves his people who subscribe to his channel as well. And he's built up a good relationship with a lot of his viewers. So Omnidog's Vault, highly recommend. And then another one who's just, I've seen in the past few years his channel go from being nothing to, I think he's got about 12,000 subscribers or something now. It's Comics Are Dope, BJ Kicks. He's not been reading comics for long. I think it's since lockdown. But he's soon educated himself on it. He's got a passion for Milestone, which I share. Milestone is my favourite superhero comic universe from the 90s. And yeah, he's just got a really cool delivery as well. And again, he's got a really nice laid-back attitude, very wholesome. There's a lot of my channels that I like, they're very wholesome. But yeah, he's just a really fun character. It's in some ways I like watching the channel for his personality as much as for what he's saying about comics. But yeah, Comics is always a fun watch. And then we have, of course, being a die-hard 2000 AD fan like I am, I watch the 2000 AD podcast, which is on every Wednesday, and that is just a really, really great way of getting to know what's coming out in the latest issue of the 2000 AD comic, and also the Judge Dredd magazine. And they also have good interviews as well, good banter, really fun watch. So if you want to know more about 2000 AD, do check out the podcast, what they have. And then we've got one that started, but it seems to come back on a more permanent basis now, and that's Taylor Talks Comics. He deals more with like the Fantagraphic and the indie side, but he does have a love for like classic Marvel and DC and also modern titles, but he does like a lot of the indie stuff, which is great for me because I also have a passion for that. And he has a Tuesday night one where he just talks about the news, and yeah, really good channel, Taylor Talks Comics. And we've got West Coast Avengers. He's more about comic hunting. He sells comics on YouTube, but he also has a channel called Direct Edition where he interviews different creatives. But I love seeing, it's like with Geeky or Hog's channel, I love seeing people's collections. I love it when he shows you when he goes to like flea markets and all, or buys collections, and I just love the passion that he's got for interesting and unique comics. Like, he's got a real passion for like underground artists, Richard Corbin and people like that. So West Coast Avengers, really, really worth watching. And then if you want more of an in-depth channel, then you've got Comic Tropes, hosted by Chris. He's been around for years and he does really good breakdowns of comics and artists. But he also does a really good one called Comic Tropes After Dark, which is where he just covers the news, and that's the one what I use to pick up on my weekly news for comics. So yeah, well worth checking. And I think the very last one that I've got to shout out, and this is more for my passion that I have for things like hardcover collections and graphic novels in general, and that's Near Mint Condition by Omar. He's really established himself as a firm corner of the comics fan base. A lot of people use him as like their guiding point for what to get in collector's editions. He has really good interviews with a lot of people in the world of comics publishing and as comic writers and artists. He's just become like an institution of comics YouTube. So yeah, I highly, highly recommend Near Mint Condition. And again, like with all the others, he's got a very wholesome attitude. There's a very strong feeling of positivity in his channel. You don't feel like he's talking ill of anybody. There's no clickbait or rage bait or anything like that. Like I said, all the ones that I mentioned on here, they're all really, really great channels where you won't get any kind of negative feeling or vibe from them. So I'll go through them again. So there's the Comics Pals, Geeky Old Hog, Comics Patrol, Pop Culture Philosophers, Casually Comics, Omni Bros, Omni Dogs Vaults, Comics Are Dope, 2000 AD Podcast, Near Mint Condition, Taylor Talks Comics, West Coast Avengers, and Comic Tropes. And there is one more that I'd recommend, and I think it's called the Japan Book Hunter. And it's just this guy who's moved to Japan, and he just gets the most obscure and interesting Japanese books, really obscure manga books, and he's got a real passion for it. And it's just, he has just some glorious, glorious videos of unique Japanese art. So I highly recommend that as well. So that's it. I just thought that'd be something fun to share. Okay, bye. Would help if my clicker was turned on. I am so professional.